Hey guys, Bada Bing here, thank you for joining me today. Yep, the GHK AKM, one of the finest gas blowback rifles ever made. One of the best gas blowback AKs ever made, in my opinion anyway. So some people don't actually like the looks of the full wooden AK. I think they're wrong, but for those of you that want your AKs with a little bit more Western flavour, there are options out there, and one of the options is the Magpul Zhukov kit for the AKM. So I'm going to show you an instructional guide on how to build a Zhukov AK. Stick around. Okay, and here is the Magpul Zhukov kit. I've got it in a wonderful grey colour, the stealth grey colour, which is a little bit different to the regular black or flat dark earth or foliage colour furniture, because at the moment grey is the new hotness, so that's what I'm going to be putting on the AKM, so let's do this. Okay, first and foremost, what you want to do first is disassemble the AK. So let's remove the magazine, get that out of here, and start taking down the assembly and then the furniture. So the disassembly of the furniture couldn't really be any easier. You've got 2 screws there for the buttstock, 1 down there for the hand grip, and then all you need to do really from there is just tap out this pin here to remove the whole front end handguard and this one here. There we go. Buttstock. There we go, we won't be needing that anymore. Now let's take off the false Baker-like plastic grip. Remove gas tube. Catch there. Slide that forward and do the removal of the cleaning rod. You can just remove that, take off the lower handguard. So now we can go ahead and tap out the pin here and the pin there, remove this grub screw and take the front end off, so we can actually get access to putting the Zhukov kit on. And there you go, the bare bones AK stripped and no furniture, so ready for the Zhukov kit. Now let's do it. Okay, with the Zhukov buttstock, what I'm going to install first is this back piece there. That's kind of a wedge point that goes straight through the receiver, and when you tighten the screw down, it kind of makes it all nice and rigid and conforms to the shape of the internal AK receiver. So I'm going to pop this one on first before I install it to the rear of the AK. Okay, and just loosely screwing in the first screw to the buttstock wedge right here. Just going to do it nice and loose until I get the other 2 in place on the back of the AK receiver. And then once those 2 are in place and it's all lined up straight to the rifle, then we can look at tightening all the 3 screws down. Okay, the grub screw at the back comes with this base. So flip the AK over and you can see that just in there. So this just, I don't know if you can see that just pops in there, and you need to hold that in place while you set the grub screw in, and again ensure that the stock is pushed all the way flat against the receiver so you can actually get in there and screw it into place. This is going to be a little fiddly. Now I've got it started, what I'm going to do is just get some pliers and hold the base in place while I screw in the grub screw. Okay, now for the Magpul Zhukov stock to work with the GHK AK series, you need to modify the recoil rod. It's basically just about 5 seconds with the Dremel, just file away just a small half circle almost at the base of the recoil guide, just so it rides straight over this grub screw here. So if we screw this piece in, now just go along and make sure that every other grub screw that connects this buttstock to the AK is snugged down. And there you go, Zhukov stock now attached to the AK. So let's get along and attach this to the AK. So this can be a bit fiddly, only because you're trying to put that through this hole here and then attach to the actual AK. It is a little bit finicky, so I'm going to do this in my own time. Okay, now that the grip is in place and the stock is on, time for the Zhukov handguard. Okay, here is where it gets a little bit tricky with the Zhukov handguard. Now this is the chassis that goes in underneath and holds the handguard in place. And you've got these two parts here. Now one side of this is just completely hollow and the other side has the threads in. So what you would need to do is have just the hollow side along the bottom, and the threading will go on top over the barrel like that. But first what we need to do is actually get our gas block back in place. So this one will go on first, followed by the front sight post. Okay, we're now with the gas block and the front iron sight post in place. Now we can get to installing the Zhukov handguard. So here we are, and we've got the two lower stages of the mounting brackets that sit on the outer barrel just like that. It's going to be a right pain in the ass to get these all lined up, so just bear with me while I get these all sorted. Okay, first of all I've got the grub screw right in there, so I'm just going to start going with the thread bracket on the top and just slowly walk it in just so it actually holds it all in place. Okay, the handguard is loosely fitted, so it's ready to accept the actual Zhukov handguard. So let's go ahead and install that. So, as you can see, it's all in place, and it just needs to flip the rifle over and tighten the 4 bolts under here. Now this could be a bit time consuming, but you have to do it right and ensure that everything is nice and straight. Okay, and I think this looks quite straight to me. There's a Zhukov handguard in place. Now let's get to the gas tube. Now here is the original wood one, and it probably would look cool if I left it just like that, but for the sake of having the complete Zhukov kit on the AK, I'm going to take off the wooden handguard. Okay, and that's the Zhukov kit installed to the AK. Now let's finish putting this rifle back together. Slide in. So then you take your guide rod with a small half circle, almost half circle, cut into the bottom of it, and it should just slide straight over the Zhukov grub screw for the buttstock, and it doesn't interfere with it whatsoever. If you don't modify this, you won't be able to get the guide rod back in. It come around about there, and if you shoot the rifle, you'll end up popping the top cover off, and yeah, it's just no good. But literally 5 seconds with the Dremel and you're done. And there we go, there's a Zhukov kit mounted to the GHK AKM gas blowback rifle. Now let's take it to the range and put another magazine through it. Gotta love the Zhukov kit, it does look pretty badass. The buttstock as well is a nice feature, having a nice folding buttstock, that's cool. Any criticism about it really, it takes the force of an exploding star just to be able to break it. So yeah, you either have to go really strong to try and take the stock off, or yeah. Well, to extend it you need to be really strong, but obviously if you're too strong you will pull the stock off, as I just did. I wasn't planned, seriously. Anyway, let's fold the stock and just burn the rest of the magazine on auto. Yeah, I really do like the Zhukov handguard as well. It's nice and sort of got like an M16 type of length handguard, which obviously is a lot more controllable than, for example, like the original AK handguard. The grip as well, I quite like the grip. It's got a nice rubberized texture to it, and it's all nice and solid, and it's just a lot more comfortable than the standard AK grip. And you've got the storage space in the bottom, so you can put whatever you like in there. But yeah, all in all, the Zhukov kit is really nice and sturdy, and it's as if it's machined from one single billet of material. That's how strong it is on the rifle. It's very nice. It does add a little bit of weight to it because you've got the metal chassis that the handguard clamps onto. That's a little bit of weight on there. So that's just no optics or anything at all. Just the bare bones gun, the Zhukov kit. It does add a little bit of weight, but other than that, it's nice and solid. But for me, it's nice, but I don't know if I like it. I do like it, but I don't know if I like it to keep it. I kind of miss the wood. I'll be right back. That's better. That's so much better. Look at it, it's so beautiful. Love this AK. Just rocks.